welcome to the OJC Cafe about change management and project communication. We'll try to see today to show what different missions that we addressed last year to provide quick wins to the procurement solution customers. And so we will present our teams. So today we will present that with our change management and communication team. So I'm Benoît Mérouz, Chief of Operations at OJC.
Hello everyone, I'm Jacques Bonjean, change management consultant for OJC. So it has been now 6 years. I've been helping customers with their transformation projects and with a little focus on ensuring that all the solutions that are implemented are really adopted by the user. So really focus on change management and project management.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucie Ralou. As Jacques, I'm acting as a change management consultant at OJC since 2 years. Before that, I have also 4 years of experience on change management projects. So also here to help the users to really adopt the new solution of their company.
Hello everyone, I'm Aurélie and I'm a communication officer at OJC for over 2 years.
Hello, I'm Océane and I work with Aurélie in the communication team since almost 2 years now.
So we'll introduce OJC in a few slides. So OJC is a consulting company that was started in 17 years ago with a focus on procurement solutions. So our work is to support big companies to install SRM sourcing and P2P solutions for their end users. We have today more than 80 consultants who are dedicated to this area, and they are spread in 9 countries with a high focus in Western Europe and about 15 consultants in North America. Until now, we have accomplished more than 500 projects for 70 big customers, and we are in a constant growth over the years. And the services we provide, so initially we are dedicated more to the upper side of this slide, consulting and integration. So mainly analysis and design of the requirements from the customer, implementing that to the solutions we can set up, and running project management over that. Over the years, we have extended these services to business consulting and now to change management. And that's how we built this lower part of the slide with the communication team to support the change management, to support project identity, and to support our own communication. And OJC software to build add-on tools or specific application with our own technology for any customer.
So I will now focus on our offer in change management and project communication. So as Benoît explained, our services cover the entire scope of the transformation project, from the business analysis to design to configuration to solution integration with also some R&D. And to complete and perfect our offer servicing, we also support our customers in getting their user adopting our solution, which is why we are developing offer in terms of change management and project communication. So in terms of change management, we are there from the start of the project. The first step is to identify and understand the changes brought by the project and for the user concerned. So we first do an impact study to analyze all the areas of change, all the people that are concerned by the change. Then we build the strategy, so the change management strategy, the communication strategy. Then we mobilize all the users and we train them. So we produce all the content about the training, the communication, and then we deploy all the training to all the users for the company. Then at the end of the project, it is really important to first step to gather all the feedback from the user in order to see if the project is a success, if they have some feedback, some pain points, to collect all of that and to build some other improvement plan in order to have a continuous improvement setup. It is also really important at the end of the project to celebrate the success and to set the end of the project, to celebrate all the work that has been done during the project and so on. Also, it is really important to communicate to all the users, to keep all the stakeholders up to date with what is happening on the project, to keep them on board, to make them feel that we are being transparent, and then we are supporting them through the coming changes. So the communication consulting phase is really part of the change management. We will see that more in detail just after with our methodology, but the communication consulting with the strategy, the communication plan, the steering and coordination is really part of the change management. Also, we strongly believe that creating a strong visual identity and graphic design could really help to federate all the users around the project. With creating, for example, a logo, graphic charter, we will see that with Aurélie and Océane. Create also some visuals, some videos, and to package all of that, and also to implement all this visual identity in the solution. And to offer a global offer, we are also able to design and to use all the media, the channels that are using by the clients. So we are able to build, to design some websites, to use any social network that the client can use, for example, LinkedIn, or also some internal network. And we are also able to build some marketing campaign with SEO, SEA, strategy and audits. So this is our offer in terms of change management and project communication. Now, so our assistant in terms of change management. So as I said, we will intervene throughout the life cycle of the project, from the design phase to the hypercare. So starting with the impact study, so to identify all the changes that are brought by the project. So, for example, as the deliverable in this phase, we are doing some impact study. So we are writing all the processes that have been rolling out by the client, and we are saying that in each case, what will be the impact brought by the new solution. And we will define a level of the impact. So this is really the impact mapping of the new solution. We also define, we will also categorize all the users that will use the solution. So for that, we are doing some user mapping and also some user journey, how the user will, how all the user, all the stakeholders, all the profile of user will use the solution. So this is in the impact study. When we have done this work, we are able to build the strategy, the change strategy and the communication strategy. So we'll define all the targets, all the channels that we will use in order to cover all the changes we have highlighted in the impact study. So this is really like a communication and change management plan with all the targets, all the channels we will use, all the training session, the communication plan. In this phase, we can also decide to use, for example, the key user have a key user and ambassador strategy that can be very helpful on the project because in some firms they have already like a really good key user community that are really supporting and helping the use of the solution. They can train the user, they can support the user also. So it can be really key on the project. And then when we have built the strategy, we are able to produce all the material. So all the training sessions, so it can be on-site session, online session, webinar session. We can also use any tools in order to empower the user, like for example, some DAP solutions. So DAP is a digital adoption platform. This is a tool that provides some, for example, in-app guidance. We'll see this more in detail in a project we have this year. So we prepare all the material. So all the change management material, for example, user guide, training material, and so on, and also all the communication material, like for example, some newsletter, some any other media communication, and also the identity. And then we have the deployment phase of all our support, training support and communication support. And then we have the final phase, the hypercare and capitalization. So at the end of the project, in order to measure the success of the project, to set the endpoint of the project, and also to empower the customer to make him able to make the change management when we will not be here anymore in the project. So this is our methodology. And this slide is really important because it explains OJC added value in change management on procurement solution. So with all the services we have been offering to implement purchasing solution for our customer over the 15 years, I think we have a real added value that our competitors in change management don't have. So in one hand, we have a real strong expertise in the business, in procurement. We have many consultants that have been, for example, buyer or in the procurement area. So we have a strong expertise in what they need. So we understand really the specificity of the business on the one hand. On the other hand, we have a really also strong expertise in solution design. So over 15 years in designing, configuring solution. So we know all the solutions, how they are built, and we know the business. And with all of that, we are able to provide some assistance really in the application. With, for example, we are able to design the solution in order to give more information to the user by setting up tooltips, notification, alerts. We are also able to guide the user through the solution to improve the adoption with in setting up, for example, some in-app guidance, some personal assistant, with chatbot, for example. And we are also, with our communication expertise, able to improve the user navigation by redesigning the UX, the UI, to also create a strong identity. Also to redesign the skin of the application in order to bring all the material and all the things to make the solution used by all the users, foster the adoption. So now let me hand over to Lucy, who will present our recent project for OJC this year. And as a reminder, so today we are going to highlight some short missions we had for customers, which don't require a huge budget, but which are key and can have a significant impact on improving the adoption of the solution.
Yes.
So Lucy.
Yes, thank you, Jacques, and welcome to the people who joined in the meantime. So just this first slide is really a summary of what we are going to talk for the next minutes. So actually, OGC consultants have been involved in 4 types of mission this year. And as Jacques mentioned, the goal was really to have a big impact in terms of adoption, but with a restricted budget and the short involvement internally. So I will first present you the job we had for Jabra, the audio equipment company. The goal was to deploy surveys and interview in order to collect the user feedback regarding the adoption of iValua. In the second time, we will have Jacques, who will explain you how he deployed a digital adoption platform and online materials to really empower the youth onboarding and automatize the training. On the third time, Aurélie will explain how she improved the branding image of the company by creating a logo and the new slogan, and how it's really federate the people and the sense of belonging. And to finalize the presentation, Océane will explain you how to improve the UX/UI experience by redesigning the tool ergonomy of iValua. So let's go for the first quick win. So the collect of user feedback. Just maybe a quick information regarding the context. So Jabra, as you know, is the audio equipment and video conference company. We have been called for this quick intervention. So Jabra is almost 50 buyers and 200 suppliers. Of course, this is an international context. And the job has been settled in 2 weeks. So we have been called because Jabra implemented the iValua a few months before that, before we arrived, and actually they really felt that the user were not using the tool, they were still using the old processes, meaning like Excel and Word materials. So what we did on the first time is to create a survey. We first choose the tool. So we decided to use, I think, Google Form, because this is the tool that they were using internally. So the people were used to that. We decided the questions that we will ask to the different user. And the goal was really to feel why the users were not using the tool, what were the frustration and the reason why they were still using the old process. So after we created the surveys, of course, we share it to the stakeholders and we ask them to complete it in a actually short time, like a week maximum. Check this, thank you. After I received and collect all the user feedbacks, I identified the frustrated users, and I proposed to them to organize interviews to really go more in details on their answers, to really understand why they were why they don't like the tool, or what was actually the main frustration. Was it the ergonomy? Was it the time of the new processes? Was it the training that had been, the training they had in the past? So it was 30 minutes individual interviews, but it really helps to let them talk and to be supportive and to understand their frustration and the real reason of the lack of adoption. Of course, after that, I compile all the results and I share it to the directors, but also to the different users of iValua. Because the goal is also to share to everyone the result of the surveys, and to show them that we really are interested in their feelings and that we really want to change the situation. And the first, of course, the last action was to define a plan. We have identified different frustrations. So for all of them, we need to define an action to really support the users and to tell them, okay, you say that to us. Now we are going to do something to delete that frustration. So of course, the fact that we involve all the stakeholders in the remediate action is also had also good impact in the sense of belonging of the project. So after these 2 weeks of job, we really conclude that this strategy to create survey, to collect feedbacks, to let the people talk about their frustration was really a quick win, because it was finally in a very short time, we really take the good ideas of the users, we collect the frustration, and we understand how to make their current job better, easier. And actually, the result was really a better adoption of iValua after that job.
Thank you, Lucie. So now we are going to look how to empower user to learn and adopt a new solution. So this is something we have implemented with at least 3 customers this year. So one in the luxury goods, one is Jabra. So it was the continuing of Lucie project, and one for Valeo. So to empower a user, of course, you need to provide them with a certain number of resources. So the first step is to define the strategy. So in our methodology, it is the step just after the impact analysis. So in the strategic phase, we define all the channel we would like to have. So in district, so I will talk about district project, and after I will go more in detail for each project. So for example, we define e-learning channel, video channel, PDF guides, in-app guides, tooltips. We define all the users we would like to reach. We identify all the use cases. So this is really key, the definition of all the use cases in order to see how the user will use the solution and to provide them some assistance in those use cases. Then when we define all the strategy, we have to produce, of course, all the content, so all the user guide, all the for example, in-app guidance also in the solution. Then we have to test and improve it. So we have to test it with some, for example, some pilot user. We have to collect their feedback to see if the solution is the tool we implemented are really good or we can improve it. And then improve the solution. And when we have the final tool and all the final material, we can deploy it to all the user and to communicate around it. So for Valeo, it was so the project was a real change of the solution. So they completely changed. So they stopped one solution and they go to a really new solution. So the user experience were completely switched, different. And also the difficulty with this project is that they have like a transition period where they had to use the 2 solutions. So it was very difficult to for the adoption. And for that, we produce a lot of course, PDF guides, videos, and we also prepare some strong communication plan with some weekly newsletter starting 2 months before the go live to present the solution, new processes, new UX, and so on. And now we are currently working on an e-learning tool in order to assess all the users. So this is really key because with this e-learning tool, so they are really autonomous in this tool. So they can follow their all the courses they have, and at the end of each course they have like an evaluation. And in this tool we have some metrics in the project management team so that we can follow all the users that have passed the evaluation and the ones that are not started. So it is really a good point to follow the adoption of the solution and to see who is trained on the solution. Also, with this customer, we have set up a community and key user community, sorry. And it was really key to empower the user because this key user community was also used for other tools. So it was really implemented in this customer. And this key user are the one who train the user. They are also here to be the first level of support. And they are using on a daily basis the tool. So they are really the ones who really know the tool and can provide some really good assistance for the user, maybe more than, for example, the project management team that are not really using the tool. They're configuring and designing it, but it is really good to have some real user training other users. So that's it for Valeo. For GN, we use a DAP tool, Digital Adoption Platform, and this DAP tool was part of the procurement solution. So it was an additional tool of the procurement solution that enables the user with enough guidance in the solution. So for that, we define, I think, around 6 or around between 6 and 10 interactive guides in the solution. It was in sourcing processes and also for the supplier relationship management also processes. We define some interactive guides for the internal user and also for the external user, for the supplier. And the third example was for our clients in the luxury goods. So in this case, we also use a DAP tool, but in this case, it was an external tool called Lemon Learning that we implement in the solution. And in this case, all the knowledge and the support base was in the DAP tool. So we provide all the material, all the user guide, the video, and also we put some webinar replay in this little add-on we add on the solution in this DAP tool. So there were, for the user, they have like a strong library of all the material we produce on them, and after they were free to see to watch the video, to see all the user guide, and to run through the DAP tool. And the one feedback of that implementation is that the DAP tool can be very helpful for the user if you don't have any resources to train the user. They permit to make the user really autonomous on their training. So they can, for example, go through a processes, and there is this in-app guidance that will help the user at each step of the process. That it will explain him why, how to go to the next step, what kind of information we need to put in that field, and so on. So it can be really, really helpful when you don't have any resources. And so we implement that for these three customers, for these two customers, with two kinds of DAP tool, one e-learning solution, and for sure also some PDF guides, some videos, some communication. And that's it. Really important to make as many resources we have, but also regarding the impact analysis we made at the first step and at the beginning of the project, in order to go and to to make the solution usable. To continue, I'm going to hand over to Aurélie and Océane. We are going to show you what we have done in terms of communication. Also for this luxury client. So we create a strong visual identity with graphical charter and so on, and we implement all of that identity in the tool.
Thank you. So on the project communication side, we work with our client for about 1 week. The main objective was to give a strong project identity that could be extended to the platform, as well as to all communications relating to the project. So the targets on this communication were both internal and external users, such as suppliers. Our client needed a coherent, meaningful identity, combining the modernization and improvement of purchasing processes within the company. It needed also a clear graphic identity, immediately recognizable by all stakeholders, fortified team commitments, and the unity to create a sense of belonging, which will improve interaction and partnerships with suppliers, and facilitate internal and external communication, both during and after the project, particularly concerning project updates, progress, and developments. A well-defined project identity plays an essential role in the success of a project, providing a clear structure, increased commitments, and effective communication during all the projects. In terms of process, we began with the kickoff meeting to define and analyze the client's needs. We then worked together to develop the various deliverables required for good project communication. So the logo, tagline, graphic elements, and the graphic charter. We then began visual and textual research by creating mood boards, and came up with several logo proposals. We went back and forth with the client 4 times to adjust the logo and the graphic elements derived from the logo and the tagline. These 3 elements had to be coherent with each other. Once these elements had been finalized, we drew out the graphic charter, defining all the rules governing the use of the elements. All this work helped reinforce the brand and its positioning for employees and suppliers. The elements were integrated directly in the platform, enabling us to review and improve the platform's UX, which we'll look at next with Océane. So we delivered 4 elements in all the necessary formats, so that the client could use them later for both print and digital communications, if he so wishes. And we'll now hand it over to Océane, who will explain to customize the platform and integrate graphic elements.
So after working on the graphic charter for the client, we decided to integrate the visual identity in the platform to improve the navigation for the users. The objectives were to recognize directly the brand and its graphic identity with the colors and the logo and graphic elements. Then it was to improve user experience with a clear navigation and consistent branding, and also to improve accessibility by paying attention to the use of colors and design in the platform. The actions we have put in place are as follows. First, we planned a kickoff meeting with the clients to discuss what were the needs and the expectations on the project. Next, a survey was sent to users to collect their feedback on the actual platform and see what could be improved. Then we created mockups for the different pages of the platform with improvements and submitting them to the clients to get feedback and validation. And we did that step by step with weekly meetings. We also started drafting a graphic ergonomic charter, to containing all the rules and details of the design of the platform. And to finish, we integrated all the elements validated by the clients. And after some testing, we pushed everything into production. The benefits and results of this project are an enhancement of brand image that creates better user satisfaction and engagement. It also has increased user adoption, and the global visual identity is now unified on all supports. And now I give the floor back to Jack.
Okay, so here is a synthesis of the 4 types of projects we've set up for customers this year, which each small intervention, not necessarily requiring a large budget, but which are really key for user adoption, and which also demonstrate OJC's expertise in change management within the framework of procurement solution implementation. So the first one, the first type presented by Lucy around for example, with the deliverable of workshop, survey, action plan, it was only 10 man days, and the benefits were to improve the satisfaction, to better understand also the needs and the frustration of all the users, so to make the client able to have some better decision, because it will have a lot of user insights, and it can also, with the improvement plan, be able to higher the adoption by setting up this plan.
Maybe just one comment. Actually, when we define the different actions to really improve the adoption, the 3 actions that were presented by Jacques, Aurélie, and Océane were actually the kind of actions that we could do. And for the context of Jabra, we actually, as Jacques mentioned, settled digital adoption platform, and we also worked on the UX UI experience of the users, because we really collect the information that the process were not enough clear, and that the tool was not really user friendly for the users. So just to put this. Thanks.
The other kind of mission take a bit more of days, so it was 20 man days in order to empower the user, because we have set up a lot of materials for the user, like for example user guide, external tools like for example DAP or e-learning, also video tutorial, and the benefit is really key for the user, because so we boost the engagement with making all the user autonomous in their training in the solution. It also reduces the cost support for the clients, because it requires some less resources to train the user and to be here to assess the user, because they are normally autonomous with all the tools we propose to them.
Maybe one thing also that was interesting on this one is that we made a webinar in the local language with native speakers, so in German, French, and English, with and Italian, which helps also then it was the suppliers in this case to better understand and have a better communication with them.
So we make each time one session, and the replay of each webinar was available in the tool. We also deployed in the DAP tool. So all the users were able to watch this all the webinar we produced. So it was also really key for the user adoption. Then for the strong identity and the visual identity with Aurélie, it was only 7 man days in order to create the logo, create the slogan, create all the graphic charter with some visual elements, textual elements. It was like, as Aurélie says, a workshop with the client in order to define what are the values, what from the customer in the logo, and so on. So it is really quick, small budget, but really high value. High value, yes. And the last kind of mission we had, so it was working on the UX, UI, implementing all the graphic elements in the application. So it was only 15 main days with as deliverable, so the ergonomic charter, mockup also. And it was really key also for the user with a small budget. With the benefit of improving the satisfaction with a better UX and UI in the solution. The user will navigate more easily in the solution. Also higher engagement with all the brand identity in the application. The user will feel really more comfortable in the application, and also for the customer, this is really a brand consistency of its firm in the tool for the internal user, but also for the external user. They feel that they are working for this client and so on. So these 4 missions, this is 4 kind of mission we did this year.
Yeah, and what we noticed that because it is actually pretty low budget and high value, in every case, the customers were super enthusiastic and happy. So yeah, we didn't come with screenshots of what we did because of the confidentiality of some of them, but it's something we can set up having a reference call with them because they really want to share what they did with us, and then also have a look to screenshots or really what we did.
I don't know if there is some question in the chat. So it was crystal clear. Okay, so thank you everyone. In case you have any question, interrogation, you can reach us. I think we have our contact.
It's not.
It's not, but you can reach us on LinkedIn, for example. You have Benoit address email.
Oh, that's right.
So do not hesitate. Thank you everyone for your assistance.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.